I cannot believe it is over. Okay, listen, the blue gold game just wrapping up a few hours ago, and it ended in true fashion. Okay, quarterback Steve Angeli making a game-winning touchdown as the clock hits 0. Dave, if you were to ask me to compare this series to a jingle, it would go something like this. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Now, I don't have the best vocals, but the Irish came out here and they won game 1, hitting 4 home runs and won 8-6. Tennessee comes out in game 2, hits 4 home runs, wins 12-4, and they did it better. It is a new look for the Irish this spring, not just with the players, but with the coaches as well. You got 7 new coaches on that staff. Now, when it comes to the offense, you start with what I like to call a field general, that being the quarterback. This is a huge game, a huge series, for the simple fact that I drove 8 hours, nearly 8 hours, to be down here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, as far as what to expect, here are the facts. Notre Dame is making their 3rd Super Regionals appearance, just the 3rd in program history. Guys, that draft was absolutely amazing, okay? Fantastic energy in the room. My adrenaline was going. It was great just to see the players compete off the field, which is exactly what head coach Marcus Freeman wanted out of his guys. I'm going to just swing this camera around here, guys, just so you can see all of the orange and white here outside of Lindsey Nelson Stadium. This is what the Fighting Irish are going to have to deal with here today and the remainder of this series. The two teams battled through 4 quarters in this game, but that ending, now that is what players dream about. And now we will wait to see what the team does in week 1 this fall as they travel to Columbus, Ohio to face Marcus Freeman's alma mater, the Ohio State Buckeyes. A few weeks ago, I was able to travel to Marcus Freeman's hometown of Huber Heights, Ohio. And in doing so, I was able to talk with Freeman's former high school coaches and principal. I also had the opportunity to talk one-on-one with Freeman's father, Michael Freeman, about his son's new head coaching job with the Irish and what this opportunity means for their family and their community.
Marcus is one of those guys, he never met a stranger. He meets you, he's got a smile on his face, he want to shake your hand, get to know you. And just to talk to him, you wouldn't know that this is a tough kid you're dealing with.
Michael Freeman always believed his son Marcus would go places, but he admits his timeline was a little off.
It was a little earlier than I expected in his life, but I'm glad that I had the opportunity to, in my lifetime, to see this. You know, I was looking at maybe 5 or maybe even 10 years down the road. So this, I was very happy to see this.
Freeman grew up in the small town of Huber Heights, Ohio, outside of Dayton. His mother, Chong, a Korean immigrant. His father, Michael, a 26-year Air Force veteran.
I get my discipline, my work ethic, my honesty from my father. I get my unselfishness and other-centered focus from my mother. And that's exactly how I'll lead this football program.
Both parents, front and center, beaming with pride as Marcus became the 30th head coach of Notre Dame football earlier this month.
He believes in getting after it, so to speak, getting up early. He's a type person that he wants to, he looks at his craft and see what the problems are and things of this nature, and he gets after it.
Long before the defensive coordinator turned head coach arrived at the Golden Dome, he walked through these halls at Wayne High School.
He's had a great reputation when he was here as a student.
A standout athlete, Freeman played football and ran track.
I was part of the crew that worked with him to enter early at Ohio State University, and he made us proud at Ohio State. He's made us proud at UC, and honestly, he's made us proud at Notre Dame.
Sitting down with his former principal, Gary Dahl, and his former track coach, Mike Fernandez, you could see their pride.
I know how I feel personally because I was able to coach him. I can only imagine how everybody just around the community feels.
Despite Huber Heights being solidly in Ohio State Buckeye territory.
You are in Buckeye territory, okay? I'm gonna let you know that. my friends let me know that I'm a Buckeye in Buckeye territory. But they're going with him.
And so are the Fighting Irish. The decision to hire Freeman receiving overwhelming support from players and fans.
One of the things he confided in me about even going to Notre Dame was that how intelligent the football players were. And the fact that the days of saying, well, you got to do this way and do that was over. He said, Dad, you have to explain to young men now if you want them to do something a certain way.
And to help get things done, Freeman has made some changes.
The intensity has changed. Basically, we practice more at a high tempo.
It really feels that we're playing ball every day.
Practices are more fast-paced and more competitive.
The brotherhood, the camaraderie that you get to see as we compete against one another. And I think it just sets the tone for practice.
With the starting offense and defense facing off every day and various drills.
Offense is currently 0-2, so.
While the tactics may be different, the goal remains the same.
I know that the honeymoon period is fast. You now is the honeymoon period. Before you know it, it's game time.
That first game, that first opportunity for Freeman to prove he has what it takes to lead the Irish to victory is here. Notre Dame taking on the number 9 ranked Oklahoma State in the Fiesta Bowl on New Year's Day.
You got to produce. You're at a school that demands excellence, and you're gonna have to be excellent in what you do, because the competition is always there. You got to be competitive.
"15-year-old Maddox Williams, also known as Smiley, plays the forward position for his freshman basketball team at St. Joe High in Michigan. He struggled a bit this season with what he and his family thought was just a nagging hip injury. But after talking with doctors, Maddox was told it wasn't just a hip injury, it was a rare bone cancer. But if you talk to Maddox, you might not know that.
I love to smile, I love being happy, I love who I'm around all the time, so there isn't something for me to be sad about right now.
And as Maddox, or Smiley, lives up to his happy nickname, his supporters and biggest fans brought to tears as they sent him off at St. Joe's game against the Lakeshore Lancers.
Everybody in the whole gym is probably crying, and he's just smiling.
Fans filled the seats and signed items for Maddox to take with him as he starts a new journey off the court, chemotherapy at the University of Michigan. While Maddox stands strong in the face of all of this, deep down, he knows how lucky he is.
Not everyone has this support, especially what I'm going through, and I think what's important is to spread awareness because I'm not the only person that has this.
It's all about everybody else for him. That's deep. That's deep.
And the inspiration he was able to give his supporters came right back to the court as Maddox scored the first points of the game.
Looking at the crowd and seeing all this people, all this support, all this love, it was amazing. I think that's when, all the nerves, everything in there just stopped, and I wanted to play basketball.
But it wasn't about the points for Maddox.
Since it was the last game before treatment, we want him to get the ball, shoot it, and instantly he said, nah, it's just about winning. I want you guys to get the ball, only what costs.
I didn't shoot my best today, but that wasn't what I was going for. I wasn't going for the points. I wasn't going for the stat line. I was going to send a message that cancer can't stop me, and it can't stop my team, and it can't stop my family.
The Williams family in the stands as well to watch their beloved number 25 as they sit with anticipation and wonder what Maddox will do next to add to his legacy.
Some things are emotional, some things are hard, but when you have a family, you can always get through it.
He'll be back soon enough. Like I told him, he's one of the toughest kids I've ever met. You know, to be going through all this and still playing basketball, it's truly amazing, right? A feat of strength. And I told him that he's one of the strongest kids I've ever known, and he's going to get through this.
Kindness is what makes you friends and what builds a family. And I think the amount of kindness you show, even if it's not directly towards someone, if it's just saying hi, if it's just saying, hey, what's up? Just looking at people, I think that's what really matters. And I think that's what got all these people here today, because being kind, yeah, to everyone, no matter what.
Right now, the only two bets you can place for college football are who's going to win the national championship. We don't know who that is. And we also know you can place the Heisman Trophy. But we're not going to do any of that. The three of us are already having our own predictions right here for the Ohio State versus Notre Dame game, the very first game of the season. Good evening and welcome back for Week 11 of ABC 57 Friday Night Football. I'm LeVon Whittaker. Now listen, before we get started, I want to ask, what's better than one state playing playoff football? Not sure? The answer is two states playing playoff football, and that's what we have for you tonight, as both Michigan and Indiana are both in playoff season. Now, I've wasted enough of your time, so let's kick things off with our game of the week between the Mishawaka Caveman and the Concord Minutemen. The Minutemen missing the playoffs in 2020, but in 2021, they're hosting the Caveman, led by star QB Justin Fisher. And the star gets us started as he takes the snap for the first snap of the game, plows the defender and gets outside the numbers and gets the first down. He's turned up. Hey, Justin, tell him who you're with, my man. All right, same drive, and it's Justin again on the keep. Another defender with a failed attempt, and Justin gets his table of 6 and says, big trust, woo, woo. All right, the Minutemen turn it over in the first drive, and it's the Caveman ball as Fisher loses the ball, but Burridge just right place, right time. First down, and Coach Kaler is fed up. Okay, moving along. The Cavemen are relentless as Chase Gooden takes the baby and runs it to the safest place possible, the end zone, for a table for 6, and they get the 2-point conversion. And the Cavemen win a thriller on the road, 35-7, and will look to repeat as sectional champs when they face Michigan City next week.